Well, see, that's the interesting thing, right? Because Socrates actually says that like the soul is hurting and is suffering well inside the body, right? It doesn't want to be inside the body, and so in some sense, right, in without the body, before this state when it enters into the body, it has this pure knowledge and is fine and all well, and then
Well, because it considers the body a kind of corruption or like a dampener on its ability, the soul's ability to think or reason about the forms or about reality in its purest sense, and that we have this body that has wants and desires, hungers, thirsts, and all of that obscures the philosophical instinct of the soul.
Yeah, I think this is kind of related to kind of just I guess, the curse of philosophy, of knowledge in general, where it's impossible to know everything. It's an impossibility. Whenever someone's setting out on the quest to uncover the secrets of the universe, like, he's destined to fail. Surely you can get close, but it's not going to happen. So there's kind of this contrast where I guess the soul desires ultimate knowledge, but due to our physical limitations, it's just not going to happen. And so I guess that's why Socrates would say that the soul is freed when it gets away from the body.
Well, he even concludes at one point that he says, well, either there is no knowledge, right? That there's no accruing knowledge or accessing knowledge at all while you're alive, or there's only knowledge after death. So it's only after you die when that which is your soul can have access to knowledge, because there's no state beforehand because of all these, like you just said, there's a limitation on any endeavor to understand something is due to fail because of the limitations of the body, because of the dampening of the, I guess, the physical prison in Plato's Socrates' sense that prevents the soul from being able to gain access to knowledge and wisdom. Which this is the reason why Socrates is because in the Phaedo, his friends, he's been sentenced to death in the Apology, and there's a long time he has to wait. His friends go and visit him, and on the day that he's due to be put to death, his friends visit him, and Socrates is in a really good mood.
right.
And his friends are like, "What's up with that? Why, like, we're all really miserable here. Aren't you about to die? Are you not like anxious at all?" And Socrates is like, "Not really. I'm about to go."
He gets mad at them for being sad.
Yeah, well, yeah, and well, no, because his from his perspective, he thinks that his as a philosopher, which is philosophia, right, lover of wisdom, right, that wisdom is only accessible for Socrates at the point after death. That it's not possible truly during life, and that you spend your life as a philosopher preparing yourself for death, so that as a free soul you can gain access to wisdom.
Let me read this passage that comes after he's already drank the cup of poison, and he's waiting for him to the poison to kick in and die. He says, and they're all like crying and they're really sad. And he goes, "Socrates, you astonish me. What a way for you all to behave. You realize it was not least for this reason that I sent away the woman so they wouldn't strike the wrong note in this sort of way. For in fact, I've heard that one should meet one's end in a reverent silence. No, keep quiet and show some resolve."
Oh, I haven't got to that part.
Absolute Giga Chad.
Giga Chad. Very nice.
There's actually slight digression. I would like to hear your opinions on this, where it's like, I don't know how it would be like for Socrates just being, because he's clearly very sure that he's going to survive this. He's very sure that there's going to be a continuation of life after death, or in a certain way. And it's just like, to you guys, could you have a picture being so sure about something like that? Because to me that seems foreign. I feel like the maximum I could get is like agnosticism. That's the only way. I think I can't even get a negative position on that. It's just I feel like agnosticism.
Even Jesus was like yelling out in the Garden of Gethsemane before he was crucified.
"Oh, you've forsaken me." Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jesus is God.
And Jesus was the Son of God. Like what are we?
Socrates more certain than God.
What are we doing here? No, but it is astonishing, right? That like, and he says, "Oh, like his final words are, oh, we have some debt that we were supposed to settle with somebody. Can you take care of that?"
Yeah, like I could get being so content with death if it's like kind of on either Stoic or Epicurean grounds, where it's like, there's no way you can change your lot. This is what happens. I'm not afraid of death because it's an inevitability. It's going to happen. So there's no point in being afraid. But Socrates just has a different spin on that. I mean, he kind of accepts that, but he's also just like, he knows it's going to continue, so it's not even a problem.
Well, we were having a conversation. We weren't able to record last week, so we just had a chat about the Meno, and while Athen was getting some tech equipment, we had a conversation about psychedelics, and the experiments on psilocybin. With the people who have been given a terminal illness diagnosis, who were having a real issue with like confronting their mortality. This psilocybin experiment where they were given a 5 gram or whatever the dosage was, and then I think it's something like 60% of the participants of the study sort of transcended their fear of death and were not only comfortable and okay with it, they were able to help the people in their lives around them get through their own death. So
don't try this at home. This is a supervised experiment.
And